Good morning, my millionaire growth partners. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire. I am creating financial freedom for billions of people across this world. I am creating a million millionaires. I am the greatest leader that ever lived. I am God people, and most important is that I manifest the words I speak. My message today, people, is for you to embrace the changes as you grow. Obviously, it goes without saying that, your life will never change. Your life can't be different unless you intentionally change, right? And it's like you have two choices, people, is that, as you go about making the changes, you have to realize the forces that's pulling against you. There's two things that's going to happen. As you're pushing yourself to change, that takes a lot of effort because it's something new that you've never done, right? And not over a long period of time anyway. You might have done it in spurts and then revert, which is very typical. So, you have to understand that it takes conscious, intentional, deliberate effort in order for you to change. And the main reason why, people, is like, as human beings, imagine like a rubber band, right? Like a rubber band. As you stretch it, you see that it takes force, it takes real intentional energy and effort. As you continue to stretch it, the further you stretch it, the more it wants to go back to the way it's been. And as soon as you let it go, not 10 times, it always go back to where it is. Now, the difference with us as human beings is that we have the choice to where we can break through those resistant barriers by continuously being intentional over and over again. And that's why there's stages of life that you'll experience, as you're growing. There's different phases. Like, you can feel the change that's happening with you, inside of you. And my suggestion for you today is for you to really embrace the changes, because it's a lot easier for you to endure and be consistently changing if you embrace it, like, find ways to fall in love with the process of growing and changing, because again, the whole idea of living an amazing life is that whatever that looks like is something different than what you have right now. So it's like, as you continue to stretch yourself, which is pushing yourself, developing new habits, intentionally working on creating new characteristics, new ways of being, is that, the natural urge instinctively is to revert back to the way you've been, and it's like, it's a very natural process, people. It's like we've been programmed to be, we've learned a lot that way. That's the way we've learned a lot of things we know. It's like, okay, don't touch the stove if it's hot, you will get burned. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as human beings, it's like we live naturally for comfort. And anything that causes discomfort, our brain is naturally wanting to get rid of that discomfort and go back to what makes you feel comfortable. And that's why people revert back, people, because it's so much easier. You know what I'm saying? And see, I get that. But the fact that that's what I want you to understand too is that, don't beat yourself up. Just realize that it's instinctively in us. You know what I'm saying? Is that human beings are created and live for comfort, not discomfort. So, but the problem is that change only lives in discomfort. So it's like you have to develop the attitude and the mindset eventually that you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know it sounds paradoxical and I know it sounds crazy, people, but I promise you is that discomfort is where all the changes lies. It's where all the growth lies. And in order for you to maintain changing, is that you at some point must fall in love with discomfort. And I know it sounds crazy. It's like working out, man. Nobody just, if somebody trying to build muscles, and there's some people that genuinely love going to the gym, but for those that do not, they do it because it leads to the result that they want, which is to gain muscle or lose weight. Now, obviously, it's very uncomfortable for those people because, you're pushing your body physically, in ways that you don't normally or wouldn't want to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's the same here in your life, man. It's like you can look at it whatever way you need to help you understand it. I'm just giving you examples, but I want you to develop a love and excitement around the fact that, hey, if you're uncomfortable, that means that you're growing, you know? If you're always happy and always comfortable, people, believe me, there's nothing happening in your life. You're stagnated and just don't even realize it, you know? I don't care what status you have in life. I believe that in life, you're either moving forward or moving backward. You're either growing or you're not getting smarter. I know that because the world is consistently changing. And in order for you to adapt and relate, is that you must also continuously change. That's the only way you're going to evolve with time, people. Because if you don't, then you're stuck in time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a good example of that is like with all the modernization and everything that's going on, you got people and tribes out here that didn't move with the time. You know what I'm saying? Amish, I think, kind of integrated some of the modern stuff, but there's tribes around the world that still live in the jungle, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against that, but I'm just trying to get at the fact that if you don't progress with time, time will leave you behind, people. And therefore, I want you to embrace the fact that and realize that you must change. You must change in order for you to evolve and grow, people, because that's how you can have the maximum contribution to this world, and being the most impactful to others is as you grow. And the easiest way and the biggest motivation why I encourage people to change is that people will listen to what you say, but more than anything, what they're doing is they're watching what you do, people, because that's the best impact you can have on people, is be the things you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Be the example. Be the example for great work ethic. Be the example for great attitude. Be the example of being self-disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Of being resourceful and willing to do whatever it takes, man. Anybody can talk a good game, people, but being the things you talk about is what I'm suggesting, because that's where the change lies, is when you're not just talking about it, but you're working on being the things you're talking about, which is where life happens, people. You experience the amazingness of life by being the things, you know? Whether you're being your present or you're being the visions of the future, which is what I always declare and teach people to do. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, man, that is indeed the message today, people. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there, man. I really just want you to really be intentionally changing and really develop a love and an excitement around you changing and growing, people, because how else are you going to know what you're capable of? I know that you're capable of amazing things, but how are you going to know if you don't push the limits? You have to push the limits every single day, people. Every single week, your life should be progressing. You should never be the same you was last week. And if you're doing that every single day, every single week, then your life is impossible for you not to get better. You know what I mean? And you know it's the truth. So I'll leave it at that. Anyways, people, shout out, man, to Jamaica, the eye of this world. Shout out to Africa, who's the mother of this world. And, of course, shout out to the Caribbean, man, the rest of the Caribbean. As you already know, people, my mandate and purpose here on this earth, my mandate from God and the purpose for me being here on this earth is to unite the Caribbean and Africa and to help Jamaica to be the eye of this world. The way we do it, though, people, is definitely being united. United we stand, people. Divided we fall. Let's not continue to divide ourselves. It's time for us to unite, people, as one voice, man, and really here to bring about the greatest prosperity period that this world have ever seen. The greatest innovations, people. It's all happening right now. This is our time, people. We've waited centuries for this, and the time is now. There's no time better than right now, people. This is our time, you know? Anyways, people, that's that. My declaration over your life, number one, is that you are a millionaire. Number two is that you're married to the person of your dreams. Number three, people, is that you have amazing health and is in the best shape of your life, man. My prayer for you today, people, is that the Spirit of God will continue to work on you and use you, man, to build, to shape you to be ready for this amazing world, man, for your purpose in this world. Have a great day, people. We'll talk tomorrow.